whole nother. That's a whole nother thing that I don't want to get into.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with with who they are as people. This is we're fighting a terrorist group that straps bombs to children because they know all well that our snipers have a tough time killing kids. That's evil.
Yeah.
That is evil.
Okay, yeah, we established they're evil.
That's why we go over there. That's why we have more troops than. That's why we outnumber them, whatever to whatever. That's why we do that. People say, well, they don't need to be the world's policemen. Yes, we do. And I tell you what, after this is over in the next 20 years, we're going to Africa and we're going to fix Africa. Might take 150 years, but damn it, we're going to fix Africa too.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Colonialism 2.0.
What'd you say?
Colonialism 2.0.
Colonialism 2.0.
Name me a country that was colonized by either Britain or America that didn't work.
Liberia. I think they're not doing too hot. Nigeria's doing good. Botswana had a genocide. No, wait, that was Rwanda had a genocide. South Africa had apartheid. Egypt had a fucking giant-ass spring revolution. I can keep going. Sudan is in the middle of a fucking civil war. Like, they're fighting each other. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. This is just all off the top of my head. I'm just trying to think of that UK strip.
Well, Egypt is kind of hard to blame anybody for Egypt because Egypt was stopped under the colonization process by Britain. It stopped in 1882. So they've had a lot of time to pick up their shit.
Okay.
And that was Britain. 1890s. They stopped in Britain stopped in 1890s in Sudan too.
In 1890, Sudan.
They won't put the troops forward.
1890 or 1980.
And just to prove, I'll say, yeah, you're right on this. You've proven me wrong in a couple different countries. All of those countries you just named are in Africa. So it goes back to my first statement. And I'm not Muslim bashing. I swear I'm not Muslim bashing. I promise you I'm not Muslim bashing. All of those countries you just named have heavy Muslim populations. And were set on fire by the Arab Spring.
Yeah, that was the Arab Spring. That's a whole different thing, but
it's not. It's the people coming together and overthrowing a government.
Yeah.
Under Muslim law. When it comes down to it, terrorists say, I'm taking your house and killing your family, and God said it's okay. That's a huge fucking problem. Especially when you read the works of the Quran and the basis of their religion, it has nothing to do with any of what they're talking about. Sharia law is a totally separate book.
So you're saying that the Muslim religion and these terrorist groups aren't they're just using the religion as an excuse to be evil.
The only thing and I'm not going to say the only thing that you and I will agree on with this, because that's not true, we agree on a lot, but the only way that I'll agree with you in saying that maybe we shouldn't be the world's policeman is the fact that our country isn't straight. That there's a lot going on in our country. There's celebrities that put together billions of dollars and send it overseas and do this and do that. There's a lot of hunger in Southside Chicago. There's a lot of hunger in South Philly. There's a lot of kids that don't go to school every day because no one's watching them, and then all of a sudden now they're 18 with no skills. Some of them don't know how to read. We only have a 70% literacy in this country. That is embarrassing for somebody that has such a strong... For a country that has such a strong... They do, though.
It's on the stronger side.
It's compared to how many other schools we have, and compared to how easy it is to go to school, people say, we don't have free education. Sure you do. Bright futures. Get good grades. People that say, we don't have free education in this country, didn't get good grades. And that's the only way I will agree with someone and say, maybe we should be putting our resources elsewhere. But the problem is, if you Build the wall.
If you kill, build the wall.
Build the wall.
Finish your thing.
I forgot what I was going to say. If you kill a problem at the source, which I'm referencing different terrorist groups. If you kill them at the source, they'll never come home. Now, I remember 2001 9/11. It clearly came home. It came here. That's why we fight them at their war in their spot. And as far as the argument that we should probably be sending more, we could decrease our military funding by 80% and still be 3 times larger than any military on the earth. I don't know what that means, but if you say it slowly and nice, you sound really smart. That's the only way I'll agree with you, is if it'll never happen, so it doesn't matter what I say on this little young podcast. But there's a lot of shit that happens here. There's a lot of gang violence that happens here. Gang violence is weird. We could talk about a whole nother podcast on gang violence. It's a psychosis.
There we go. We got our next 2 podcasts lined up.
It's a psychosis.
Weed and
3 white boys talk about gang violence. Woo!
3 white.
Who cares if you're white or black?
There are white gangs.
As long as you have the right mental capacity, if you have the knowledge to talk about it, it doesn't matter about color. If you have the stats, if you have the knowledge to talk about black on black crime, just because you're white doesn't mean you're wrong. You don't have to be that color to have knowledge about that issue.
I wish we had a bell. I would ring the bell for 2 points like they do on that ESPN show.
Yeah, the only thing being that color is giving you credibility to the color you're talking about, of that person, to that race. That's the only thing it does, is give them that credibility. There's a lot of... Let's go back to gangs as... again, we're stereotyping this that they're African Americans. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, that's a stereotype.
And there's African Americans who aren't in gangs, haven't been part of gang violence, have grown up in Beverly Hills. But
there was an African American that was the president of this country.
Yeah, but a leftist American today would say that they know more about a white person that's in that kind of lifestyle. That's what the left America is today.
There are white people that are Bloods. There are white people that are Crips. There are Spanish people that are Bloods. There are Spanish people that are Crips. And all the way down the line.
You don't have to be that color to have knowledge about...
Gang violence and gang issues is a socioeconomic problem, not a color problem. There are black doctors. There are Spanish doctors. There was a black president. There will probably be a Spanish president within the next 10 years. Marco Rubio. And there are all different types of people. I saw a picture the other day, and it spoke so loudly. There was a young black kid in a jumpsuit getting sentenced. His attorney was black, and the cop behind him was a black. And I didn't mean to say a black, was black, excuse me. And the judge was black, and it said, here's 4 different outcomes from 4 different areas. Mm-hmm. One was an attorney, one was a cop, one was a criminal, one was a judge.
It all goes down to dedication.
Are they more susceptible because of some of the areas that they live in and some of the ways they're brought up? Without a doubt. But that's not the fault of anybody.
If you really want to get yourself out of that and you try and dedicate yourself to do it, you can do it.
Charter schools.
You can do anything. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. No matter what color you are, no matter what race you are.
Obama grew up in Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
He slept in the White House for 8 years.
Such quality content.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
That's quality content.
Does color have an issue? If you're not black, can a white person talk about black on black crime?
No, I was just making a comment. I wasn't being for real.
Oh, I really was making a joke for real.
No, he's just making a joke.
No, I was messing around. I try to keep a light tone.
But still, my point still stands.
Sure, if you immerse yourself, if you read about it, yes, and if you read about it and educate yourself on it, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
And that's the problem with, again, there's problems all over the place with the right America, but the left America, if you are not if you don't fit that exact stereotype...
Wait, so there are 2 Americas?
Today, there is. It's so split. There's 2 of them.
American ideas, guys. There's one flag. There's one government.
It is so split today.
American ideology, say that. Because there's one America.
Sure.
Starts in Florida and ends in Seattle. There's one America.
What about Hawaii?
Maybe we'll let it
And Alaska.
Well, Hawaii's burning right now, so it might not be there for a while. Alaska, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Alaska.
Yeah,
Alright,
but
so
if you do not, finishing the point, if you do not fit the stereotype of the left, you cannot speak about that. And guess what? That's racist. Putting people into stereotypes. I think the left is more racist than the right. I do. I really do. They call themselves a party of getting rid of racism. But come on, when you're gonna call a white person a racist because they gave you a statistical fact on black crime, you're the problem.
Or when you're going to boo someone who stands up at a Black Lives Matter rally with a sign that says All Lives Matter, and you boo that person, do you understand how stupid that makes you look?
And here's an example, and then again, not just talking about how the left the problem, but with the right. Back when the campaign with Rubio and so not this recent election, but the last
2012.
Yeah, they were talking about a gay soldier came on to ask all them a question, said how he's gay, how he had to hide it, blah 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 blah, and once he was done with his questions, Americans booed him because he was a gay soldier. That was the right. And you know how big the right is for our military. But they booed a soldier because he was gay. It goes both ways in America. Both sides are assholes. In ways.
I don't see any people from the left joining the KKK. That's what I'd say about that.
Dude, come on, the
KKK. You cannot do that. The KKK is not a Republican.
Well, that's the problem. You can't just say things like that and have it be okay.
Exactly.
You can't compare. You can't say
completely
every Republican,
know.
if they voted for Trump, has a lynch stick in their backyard.
I know.
That's like me saying every liberal is a overweight transgender male female Zimzer. That's not true.
Oh God. Oh, I know. I just love stirring the pot, guys. You gotta remember that about me.
We gotta be serious, though. Come on.
Come on, but it makes for great content. Stirring the pot makes great content on the podcast with you too.
Nah.
Come on, we just had a nice little how long section because I kept stirring the pot little by little. 40 minutes.
So what do you actually agree with?
I remember a lot of silence.
Yeah, I do remember a lot of silence from you.
Oh, from me?
Yeah, we barely heard you. It was Brown, are you there? Brown, are you there?
Yeah. Well, I hit that 3 times out of a 40-minute section. I call that good.
It's like fencing with words. You kind of have to know when to get in and know when to hop back.
Yeah.
All right. What's up next?
Let's go to our main topic today.
No.
Very controversial.
Girls with buzz cuts. I mean,
transgenderism in today's society. What do you think about it?
Okay.
Let's start with your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. We'll go around. Because this is a big controversial thing. So we'll say our opinions.
Do what you want to do, and that's a lot of feedback.
Is it better?
We're good. All right. All right. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Here we go. Yeah, do what you want to do. Call yourself what you want to call yourself. If you get a surgery, you use a different bathroom.
Who should pay for that surgery? The taxpayers or them?
It's an elective surgery.
But okay,
it's a
that's
pretty
fine.
right-wing thought, sir. You would think that would be main common sense. That's the big problem with what they say they want to join the military, because then they can let the military pay for a $500,000 surgery.
Let's get to the military later. Okay. 'Cause that's also
I'm sorry. The military will. Oh my God, that feedback.
That might be yours.
Yeah, the military will not pay for transgender surgery.
They're trying to make them.
Sure, I'm all cool for that, but no, you're there to fight, not going to spend days.
Well, that was the big push. That's why when a couple months ago Trump said, with the support of the generals, we're going to get to the military now, I guess. With the support of the generals, we're not yet able to allow open service for transgendered Americans. And then all of a sudden, the narrative out of that was that Trump is against transgendered. Which, there's literally